Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, please allow for me to introduce myself to you. My name's Vanessa Somuayina. You guys know me as your favorite psychic medium right here on YouTube, as well as your big sis from the internet. And for today's psychic reading, I have a special letter that is meant to find you. So if you're feeling lost and confused and you don't know what to do, this is the perfect place on the internet for you to be right now. I want you to get cozy, comfortable, get a beverage of your choice, your favorite snack. If you're feeling down and you can't get out of that emotion, if you're feeling down and you can't get to therapy right now, you need some healing and reassurance, allow for this letter that was meant to find you in this very moment to give you just that. So without further ado, let's see what your angels and guides have prepared for you. With love to you, my gorgeous soul, dearest you, do you know how much we love you and want to help you? We are here for you, and we hear that you're asking for guidance, but you must let go and let us help you. You don't have to do it all alone. You've done your part. Now let us do ours. You would be awestruck if you knew how many strings were pulled through the matrix to give you what you need and you desire, because Spirit has a plan. And when you sign up to be a co-creator, you need to remember to allow the partnership. It's not one-sided. Your desires and your plans, they meet up with those of your spirit guides and angels. Remember those. Spirit's timetable and ideas of how things will play out may be quite different from yours, but trust us, Spirit's ideas are amazing. Spirit's timing is divine. Now let go and let us do the magic. Pay attention to other areas of your life, and before you know it, a miracle will have taken place. We love you so much, my gorgeous soul. What a gorgeous message of reassurance for you to be receiving right now before we get into your reading. So let's see what your angels and guides need you to know and need you to understand in addition to what we've just received. So we have 3 cards that popped right out. We've got know, we've got communicate clearly, and don't stop. My gorgeous soul, how do you feel about boundaries? And I'll just put your letter outside of the video frame so that we have more space for our readings, for our cards. So about communicating clearly and your boundaries, Spirit wants you to get more comfortable saying no. Communicate that clearly and don't stop when there's something that you don't like how a friend, a neighbor, for example, your mom, your sister is speaking to you. Say no. Say that's not what you desire. That's not how you desire to be spoken to. Communicate that clearly and don't stop setting your boundaries, because now is a time in your life where your boundaries are extremely important. And there's a reason why this message was meant to find you. And it's because here within the 6 of Cups, I can see that you are meant to be the leader of your own family. You are meant to be the leader of a community. So that could be you growing a social media following and also a lot of clients if you're working in a service-based business. It can be you being the boss, the CEO of the business that you're running and working in. And as already mentioned, having your own family at home. So I'm talking kids, I'm talking a spouse. The 6 of Cups is a card where you can see things have to be built on a solid foundation for them to be able to grow and thrive and grow higher. So you having clear boundaries, you knowing how to say no and how to say what you desire and what you're not okay with is so important for you to then also confidently lead your family, to be the one who understands that it's okay for you to have boundaries. Even if you have kids right now or one day or a spouse, you will still need your alone time. You will still need to be able to say no in a loving way, to be able to say what the plans are for you and your own family and the future of your own family, doing so in a loving way without feeling bad, without feeling like you shouldn't be creating these boundaries because you deserve to, my gorgeous soul. This is your time to love yourself enough to focus on these steps forward. The Page of Pentacles is a card, it is a symbol of building in the material realm. The suit of pentacles is the suit of all things material. So building yourself up to finally getting that dream home, the mortgage, the vehicle that you have been eyeing up, starting the business that will just continue to flourish, where you've invested and your investments can grow. The Page of Pentacles shows us that what comes next in your life is you starting up a fresh investment that is going to continue to grow in its value over time. That might be you investing into stocks. That might be you purchasing a home in the right area at the right time, where actually that home is going to be worth so much more in a couple years with the right maintenance and upkeep as well. Purchasing a business that continues to make sure that you are stable in the material realm and that you have nothing to worry about for your future, especially as you're slowly but surely getting older in the most fabulous, relaxed, and secure way. The Ace of Pentacles is symbolic of a new idea coming to you, and that idea being validated. The idea that you have of investing, of creating a better career for yourself, because you've had ideas of how you can get out of the hamster wheel, get out of the rat race, get out of situations where you feel like you're overworked and underpaid. I want you to know that the ideas that you have, they're great. They are going to be successful, and the most important thing is that you follow through on them and that you don't stop. All right, remember, not stopping is the key to success. Whether that is with content creation and social media, your business, whether that is with being healthy, being in a type of position where you feel like you're your best version, don't let setbacks stop you. If you overate last night on the cake, on the pizza, and you feel like that has ruined your health journey, your fitness journey, the most logical, best thing that you can do is to say to yourself, no, I'm not going to allow that to stop me. I know that perhaps I went a little bit overboard. I'm human, it happens. The best thing that you can do is just come back to routine. Don't punish yourself. Here within the moon, I do see that for you, you are often so intuitive, so empathetic. You feel other people's emotions. Even when you enter a room, you can already tell how another person is feeling. And because you are so highly empathetic and so highly attuned to other people's emotions and the energies around you, that also means that you're very sensitive to being drained. So if you have had days recently where you're not sleeping well, where you feel like you keep waking up at night at the weirdest times, like 3:33 a.m., 4:44 a.m., and you are unsure why you are feeling so restless. What you probably need, my gorgeous soul, is to get into this cleansing spirit and energy of no longer feeling too much into other people's problems and focusing on your own health and well-being by putting yourself first. I know it's hard for my gorgeous empaths to get that into your brain and to actually execute that because you are so caring. You love other people to the point that you want to be of service, especially my Virgos out here, especially those of you who are Capricorns as well, my Aquarius babies. You are extremely philanthropic, and it can be hard for you to take a step back from that and take a step forward in caring for you and letting others cater to you as well. If you have had relationships, situationships in your life that you feel are actually feeding into you being empty, so emptying your cup instead of focusing on your cup, Spirit is trying to say to you with this message, with this reading, with this letter, it's time to move on. It's time for you to move on from feeling this guilt. It's time for you to move on from allowing other people to give less than you give into the relationship constantly. Of course, relationships are where people always give as much as they can. Some days it will be 100%. Some days it might also just be 50%. But that doesn't matter to someone like you. You keep showing up with as much as you can at every given point and every given day. And it's not a crime. It's not allowed for you to expect the same from the people that you're dealing with and the people that you're keeping in your life. You should, because I also see here within Create and Progress that for you, in order to be in your most creative, beautiful, wonderful bubble of creating art that is not just magical and that you're proud of, but that you can also potentially be able to benefit off of, financially profit off of, sell, that you will be able to create a business off of, You have to move on from continuously pouring out into people and relationships that are not sufficiently pouring back into you. And I know it sounds harsh, but someone had to tell you. And if I didn't tell you, if your big sis from the internet wasn't going to tell you this truth, who would, my gorgeous soul? I want you to know here within the day you plant the seed that right now the most important thing that you can do for yourself is to plant seeds for a prosperous future, is to plant seeds for exactly what it is that you desire in the future. That means that if you want to have a business online, now's the time for you to plant the seed, as in just starting. Nothing needs to be perfect. I want to remind you of the fact that even when I started my channel 800 videos earlier, nothing was perfect. Nothing was as you see it now. Even speaking was something that I was afraid to do and that I really struggled with. But I planted the seed by showing up, by continuing to create, to channel messages, and to fine-tune everything about my intuition. And I want you to know here that your spirit guides want you to do the same. And do it while feeling fabulous. Do it while having your nails done, while having your makeup done if you wear makeup. I know I also have male viewers, but you get the idea. While wearing what you want, feeling free, feeling so much like the dream version of you. Plant those seeds when you're in that energy. And I also want you to know here that with wheat showing up within your reading, this is a type of message where your diet is being questioned as well. It might be time for you to move on from wheat. It might be time for you, in order to create and progress, get creative about your diet and removing gluten and wheat out of your diet, because it's probably bloating you. It's probably not the type of quality of wheat that's actually adding to your life force. It's most likely just subtracting. So it's time for you to move on from foods that you can tell your body reacts to in a bad manner, in a manner that you don't want it to react to. Because if you're bloated, if you're not feeling amazing, it will be hard for you to plant as many seeds as the days where you feel like you're on top of everything. The Ace of Wands confirms this. As you can see here, we have this little gecko hand or gecko paw. I'm actually not sure what it's called for geckos, because they do have almost like hands, don't they? Is it a hand or is it a paw? If you know, leave a comment below in the comment section and let me and others know. Now, the Ace of Wands represents the number 1 of the element of fire. The Suit of Wands corresponds to the element of fire. And this always pertains to new creative force, enthusiasm, confidence, and courage that's coming towards you, my gorgeous soul. These are all traits that you will need to plant these seeds, but also to flourish. That's why this letter was meant to find you, because you are meant to receive the keys. You are meant to receive the answer as to how you can now flourish, how you can now be your best self, how you can be in a position of power finally, because you deserve to, and you have been waiting for far too long to step into that. I see here within the Eight of Pentacles that now is the time for you to collect everything that you've planted. In a ton of work, you've put in a ton of effort, and now it's time for you to just tie up the loose ends and cut losses where you have to cut losses. As an example, if you started creating a tarot or an oracle deck, finish it now. Make sure you tie up those loose ends. Find ways how you can do so. If you have always wanted to go from part-time dreamer to full-time tarot reader, again, tie up those loose ends. Get it done. Start. Put yourself out there. Make your services available. It's not hard for you to create a type of reality that you desire, as long as you're not afraid. And I want you to know here within the Eight of Pentacles that right now is a time of just trying, of just putting yourself out there. Your spirit guides are trying to encourage you to be unafraid. Don't be afraid to look stupid. Don't be afraid to look cringe. I know there's this thing right now in our society where everything looks so perfect by creators online. And I want to remind you, like, these creators, they've been doing it for years. I've been doing it for years. I am thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of readings in at this point. Of course, my intuition is on a completely other level, because I've been doing this every single day for a decade now. And I want you to know here within the Eight of Pentacles that you starting and not stopping is the recipe for your success. The Eight of Pentacles also tells me that when it comes to your romantic life, all right, the people who are kind of behind you in your professional life They will be afraid of you romantically. So if you feel like someone is pulling back, if you've met someone and you thought there was a spark there, and for some reason they're behaving weird, they're behaving differently, you don't know why, they're pulling back, it is in fact because they're intimidated by your professional success. And I want you to say yes to be open and receiving professionally always. Never dim your light because you can tell someone is intimidated by it, especially professionally. Because let me tell you what, Spirit has this message. Spirit has something that you need to hear. This is straight up tea. And that is the fact that your job, your career, the business that you have built, your accomplishments, they will never get up one day and tell you that they don't love you anymore, or they don't think this is working out, or they feel as though they want to explore other options. So say yes to yourself and your health always. Your health will never get up one day and say, oh, your health is regrettably informing you that the efforts you put in were actually in vain. No, if you work out, you will always feel amazing, even if you did not want to work out. By the end of the workout, you'll always feel good. If you eat healthy, it will always be better than if you did not eat healthily. And you saying yes to you is always going to be beneficial. However, you focusing on a situationship or a relationship with someone who has not yet proven that they are worth you investing your time, your resources into, and your heart, now that is a risky business. We have one more card that popped right in as I was about to shuffle. Ooh, look at this gorgeous eagle that we've got right here. Now, practice freedom, release the weight of judgment. My gorgeous soul, how often do you walk into a store and you already feel judged? How often is it that you create something, you want to put something out there, for example, onto social media, before you've even posted it, you feel judged, you feel afraid, you're not sure, you're like, should I really put this out there? Because what if people judge me? What if people laugh? What if people that I went to high school with, they talk about what I'm putting out here behind my back, they laugh about it, they make fun of it. So what? Okay, what if they do? Who cares? They are still the ones who have not had the courage to put themselves out there and whose lives will just be filled with that, with gossip, with talking about others. Meanwhile, you're actually going to be out there living your life. You're actually going to be out there experiencing things. And even if some things feel cringe or they start off feeling a little bit over the top, like you're being so dramatic, so what? You are the main character of your life. Yes, life is dramatic. It is dramatic that we are living on a spinning rock somewhere in the universe, and we are forced to pay bills and taxes, keep a job and work out and worry about what all the other ants on planet Earth on this rock spinning in the universe are thinking of us. Yeah, it is dramatic, it is wild, it is obscene and crazy. So behave as obscene and crazy and as authentic as you like. You've only got one life and it's so short. It's done in the blink of an eye if you compare it to the rest of the universe, the rest of everything that is going on here in the Milky Way that we live in. So enjoy it fully because you will never regret that. And also putting your family first is another thing you will never ever regret. I know. It can be so tempting to say to yourself, no, I have so much work to do. No, I can't focus right now on my family, on going to see my mother, or on texting my father, or on keeping up with my siblings and my nieces and nephews. How am I even going to do that? What about even doing my own family? I don't have time for that. I don't have time for a child. I can't afford a child. I can't do all of these things. Those might be thoughts that you have had in your head where you're wanting to put your work first. And I completely understand you and I can so empathize with you because that's a position that I've been in many times. And I want you to know, getting out of this hamster wheel, that's when I realized that is time you will never regret. You will never regret saying no to work and saying yes to family instead. Because guess what? Those memories are irreplaceable. And if something happens to you, your workplace, they will replace you by tomorrow. They're not going to come and visit you in the hospital. They're not going to be sad for years if something happens to you and for whatever reason you can't return back to work. No, they'll replace you, life will go on, and you will be forgotten in no time. However, who is going to be there, who is going to be affected, who is going to be by your side is family. Your actual blood family, but also chosen family. Spirit is telling me to remind you not to underestimate the power of chosen family. This is something I just experienced yesterday where I spoke to someone who is my chosen family. This girl is so ride or die for me any time of the day, any time of the night. If I call her and I'm having a situation with my health where I'm not sure, do I just speak to her and have her on ready? Or do I actually need to call an ambulance? Do I need to go to the doctor immediately? She is there, just like in this family card. She helps me through it. She walks me through it just as I am for her. And we know we've got each other's back. And while she's not my actual blood-related sister biologically, she has done way more for me than other people who might be blood-related or biologically connected to me. And that is something that you can't replace. That is something where we don't have to constantly give family a free pass to disrespect us or to not show up for us. Meanwhile, we've got friends that love us dearly, that show up for us more than family does, and we're neglecting them, or we're kind of feeling like, well, we should put family first. We should put family first. We should be putting people first who actually show up as family. We should be putting those first who actually behave like family, not just those who were awarded the title of family. That's what Spirit needs you to know and understand and not feel bad about anymore. Next up, we've got building strength. You can build strength over time. This is like a muscle. This takes practice, especially if you're an empath, if you're someone who was made to feel like you owe your family something, like you owe your blood relatives something all the time. It takes time to build the strength, but once you have built the strength of being able to communicate clearly, to say no, to not stop on what you're doing just because they want your attention, or they want to create trauma, or they want to create drama, or they need something from you, the more that you build this strength, the more inner peace and resilience you will have, the happier you will become. I promise you this, my gorgeous soul, and there's nothing to feel bad about. You'll realize this sooner rather than later. Write a gratitude list. When's the last time you actually woke up and the first thing you did was focus on what you were grateful for? Focus on the fact that you even woke up today, that you were able to open your eyes and see. If you were able to get up and walk to your bathroom, brush your teeth, you are already so fortunate. There are a lot of people who woke up this morning, they weren't able to do so. If you were able to wake up this morning and you have your phone, your Wi-Fi, you can reach your loved ones, you can text your family, you are so fortunate. If you are able to go to a job, whether you love the job or not, if you have a profession, if you have something that you can do that provides for you, potentially your family puts a roof over your head and feeds you, that is something to be grateful for in itself. And I know it sounds really cheesy, but sometimes we have to be reminded of this. And Spirit is trying to tell you exactly that. When you look around and you become so aware of everything that you have to be grateful for, it automatically makes your day better. It automatically reminds you of the fact that I don't have to worry. I don't have to fall into this depression that I usually do every single morning because I'm still working on creating my dream career. I'm still working on getting my dream job. Those are all amazing paths for you to be on. It's amazing for you to crave that, to want that, to work up to it. But that doesn't mean that in the meantime, what you're experiencing right now, that it can't be valid, or that it can't be something you're appreciative of, that you can't love your life currently. Love your life every single step of the way. That's a message I'm receiving. Next up, deep breathing. When's the last time that you did a deep breathing exercise, my gorgeous soul? When is the last time that you took some time to meditate and to actually focus on your breath? To actually focus on whether you were even breathing into your stomach. Because a lot of us, we breathe in a very shallow way, and I want you to become aware right now of your breathing. How are you breathing right now, my gorgeous soul? Are you allowing your stomach to properly distend, or are you just breathing up to your chest, up to around where your heart is? Notice your breathing right now, and I want you to take the biggest breaths you've taken all week, all month, all year with me right here as we continue to delve more deeply into these messages that you were meant to receive from your letter, into these messages that are here for you right now. There's a reason you're still here. There's a reason you're still listening in and healing yourself. There's a reason why these messages are resonating with you. So take those deep breaths to claim them. Openness. That's what we've received next for you. Openness is a really imperative part of growth. It's an imperative part of being open to love, being open to a better life, a better career, more opportunities, and actually becoming the version of yourself that you are so incredibly proud of and that you've always wanted to be. Be open to the fact that sometimes the path and the route to your greatest success and to where you want to go, it can sometimes be different than what you pictured it to be like. It can sometimes take you down detours that you just didn't see for yourself. Whether that's meeting a perfect lover at a seemingly wrong time, whether that is you working a job that actually you don't like in order to climb the ladder and get to the next position, whether that is you studying something in school, going to college or university, and then realizing actually what that taught you is that you don't want to conform to society's norms and standards. I work with so many individuals who studied, for example, engineering or medicine, and what they want to do is tarot, spirituality. They want to be creative. They want to have their own businesses. And I want you to know here within Wonders that it doesn't mean if you end up in a different career field that what you studied or what you started off with becomes redundant or doesn't matter, or that it was for nothing, that it was in vain. Not at all, because it will give you a huge leg up. The discipline that you had to get to where you are today, others will not have with the path that you're taking on to arrive at your dream destination tomorrow. In Wonders, I want to remind you of the fact that there are so many traits and talents and ways in which you are ahead of the competition, but you're not even aware of it because to you it's normal. Like, for example, the fact that when you say you'll do something, you do it. You're very headstrong. You're very creative. Yeah, when you lack resources, you just become more resourceful. You don't need all of the resources in the world in order to make something out of nothing. You don't need all of that because you can be resourceful regardless of what situation you're thrown into. And this marks for someone who is going places. That is you. There's a reason why you're ahead of your competition. There's a reason why you're ahead of so many people who started off where you're starting off, but they won't get as far as you're going to get. I want you to know here within Compromise that Spirit is trying to tell you life is a balance of achievement, but also compromise. Life is a balance of understanding that, okay, there will be times where perhaps I can't just shop for whatever I want, whenever I want, because right now I'm building my business or I'm investing in myself. I'm investing more in my education. But compromise is a balance. Some of you compromise on yourselves way, way, way too much. Like, you will be able to somehow find a way to pay for every single person, every single bill, to lend every single person money, to get all of these unnecessary things, to go out with your friends, to spend money on alcoholic beverages, on lavish dinners. But then when it comes to actually getting skincare with SPF in it, you're cheaping out. Then when it comes to actually investing in the highest quality supplements for yourself, you're not doing it. Then when it comes to actually getting to the dentist and just getting the x-ray done just to make sure everything is fine to calm your mind, all of a sudden, you don't have the funds for it. You don't have the time. You can't. What does that tell you, my gorgeous soul? This is not to call you out, but this is to remind you of the fact that, yes, there are times where you will need to compromise, but yes, let's also remain in balance in the fact of if you can show up for everybody else, if you can show up to a workplace, if you can be there for clients, if you can deliver in that way, let's deliver for you. Let's make sure you're also delivering for yourself. Let's make sure you're also investing in you. Let's make sure that you're also taking care of yourself in the relentless way you would take care of others. And if you are a parent, don't even get me started on the selflessness that you are actually demonstrating every single day. And I want you to know that in this, there's not a calling out. There's not a, oh, this is a bad thing. There lies so much opportunity, because look at what can happen if you can do this for other people, other circumstances. Imagine what would happen to your life if you do that for yourself. If you put that type of energy and that type of spirit, that type of frequency, that type of passion into yourself. Imagine where you can go. Imagine what you can do. Imagine how your own business could look. Imagine how your investments could look. Imagine how your future could be. This is a huge opportunity that shows that if you can do it in that way, in those areas of life, then that means you can do it for yourself too. And Spirit wants you to know that there is so much opportunity around you that you're most likely not even realizing, that's like hidden in plain sight. And we're going to delve even more deeply into your reading, because as you can tell, as you can energetically feel, there are so many messages that are coming through that I don't want you to miss out on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear and cleanse the space. I'm going to sage the space. I'm going to cleanse the space. And I'll be right back with you for us to delve more deeply into your reading. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to do a thing. The only thing you can do if you desire to do so is you can leave a moon emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you're still here, you're receiving this reading, you claim and you manifest these messages. And aside from that, just continue to lean back and relax into the space, my gorgeous soul, and I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your psychic messages you were meant to receive. Welcome back, my gorgeous soul. Did you miss me? So let's delve a little more deeply into your reading, shall we, to figure out precisely what messages that you have to receive and hear right now. So we've got Odin, which brings psychic insight, as well as Lord Shiva. I want you to know here that the message you're receiving is that right now there's even more psychic insight that's coming towards us, and your third eye is open. You're seeing truth for what it is, and now is a time for you to follow your intuition. Your third eye chakra, meaning your intuition, the space between your eyebrows, just slightly above your eyebrows, between them, that is where your third eye is located. And I want you to know this appearing in the next card that we received within Lord Shiva, quite literally here, having a third eye, it shows us that now is a time for you to stop questioning your gut feeling, and now's a time for you to listen to the steps that are being given to you. If you've always had a gut feeling that now is a time for you to start your YouTube channel, your business, to put up your first ever podcast, to travel the world, to break up with someone who does not appreciate you, to stop being the one making the first move in love, yeah, you're probably right. You probably have that gut feeling for a reason. And I want you to know here within Lady Portia that the next message we're receiving about divine order is that your angels are telling you to do what feels right. An important lesson is unfolding for you, especially when you just do what feels right. Usually what then also happens is important lessons unfold. When you feel like it's just right to tell your mom or your friends or your family member that they need to learn boundaries and they don't respect you and you're not going to continue allowing them to disrespect you, you are doing what feels right, and you will learn important lessons about who wants to be in your life by actually making sure that you feel comfortable with them being around, and who insists on having their way, even if they know that that is something that makes you uncomfortable and that you no longer desire. And that will tell you a lot about everybody in your life. You'll have a lot of very positive surprises, and you might also have surprises where you think to yourself, I kind of thought that this person was rooting for me a little more. I kind of thought that I was more important to this individual. Next up, we have received the Five of Pentacles. Now, another reason why your guides are trying to say to you that now is the time for you to listen to your intuition in your third eye is because that will avoid any types of challenges you might have when it comes to your career and when it comes to being able to keep up with earthly demands. When you listen to what your gut feeling is telling you to do, you will never run into hardship. Hardship happens when you're going against your morals and your beliefs. And that is the psychic insight that you are meant to receive here. So if you want to avoid the Five of Pentacles, meaning, for example, stressing out about how you're going to meet up with bills for rent, how you're going to cover the cost of going to Pilates, of buying the matchas you want to purchase, and on a more serious note, paying for things like your health insurance, perhaps helping your family members out, and so on. I want you to know here that lessons are unfolding about how you can actually live more abundantly than you have seen as possible. And the Three of Cups is a reiteration to hang around other people who know this as well, who have learned this, and who are living a life that you look up to. This means hanging out with people who you deem as successful. If you are the most successful person in each room that you're in at all times, you have to switch up the rooms that you're in. Okay, you have to enter into other rooms, other spaces, hang out with people who are successful to you, with whom you would trade lives with. That's the definition of someone who is successful. A person with whom you would trade lives with, because success is different by definition to each and every one of us. And the Three of Cups here tells me that you having fun, connecting with other people over business ideas and ways in which you can elevate your life, wow, next up we've received the Empress, which confirms this is going to make you more abundant and fertile for new ideas and for everything that you've got going on to take off in the most successful way possible. The Empress is a symbol of fertility. It's a symbol of motherhood. It's a symbol also of pregnancy too. And I want you to know here in the Empress, don't freak out, okay? You don't immediately need to feel as though this has to mean there's a pregnancy that must happen for you. It's only if you desire motherhood and pregnancy. It's only if you desire for this to be part of your journey. But what it mostly represents here, with the numerological meaning of the number 3, right, which we just had in the 3 of Cups, now we've got the number 3, which is the Empress, which is all about togetherness, which is all about working with others. It actually represents abundance. It represents you being far more abundant when you work with others, when you allow for others to help you, to bring ideas to you. So it's not always you giving, helping, sharing, but you are also receiving, and you're in an energy of abundance with other people who aren't jealous. They don't feel as though just because they're successful, now that takes away from your potential and vice versa. If you've ever been around the type of people where it feels as though the more successful you are, the more they get kind of weird, it's because they're living in a space of lack where they feel like the more successful you are, the less they will be successful, which is, of course, not true. So take yourself into spaces of people who are only in the success mindset and leave, go when it comes to people who are not. That's what the 8 of Cups is telling you to do. The 8 of Cups is telling you, I know it can sometimes be challenging. It can sometimes feel as though what you're saying is, I'm now better than who I grew up with, or I'm now better than the people that I'm leaving. You don't want to come off as this type of person. There's a huge reminder here for you, and that's the fact that if you were the person you're worried about being, if you were the narcissist, the person that you're trying so hard not to be, you wouldn't even have these thoughts of doubt. You wouldn't even have these thoughts of not wanting to hurt other people if you were someone who was comfortable with hurting others. So the fact that you are constantly uncomfortable with hurting other people to the degree where you would rather make yourself uncomfortable than hurt another person or make another person mildly uncomfortable, you would rather go through the trenches. You would rather make yourself the most uncomfortable person on planet Earth. That already says so much about how empathetic, caring, and giving that you are in every single way. So don't let those worries stop you from taking action in the right ways by disconnecting from those who are holding you back and reconnecting and partying with those who are allowing you to grow. Now, let's see what the next message is that Spirit has for us. Let's reveal these tarot cards. We've got the King of Wands as well as the Death card. I want you to not be afraid of either one of these. Now, the Death card is a card of transformation. I just want to tell you that right off the bat. There are also so many cultures, if you have seen movies even about, for example, South American traditions or even traditions in the East, death is always a representation of a new beginning and a transformation. And with the death of old things that no longer serve you, you are able to have new things enter your life. And that's what we have here in the King of Wands. My readings are always attuned to the energies and what's coming next for you. So by the death of letting go of people who are not meant to be in your life, who are not meant to take up space, not mentally, not physically, not quite literally with your time, you are opening up the portal and the door for the next person to come in, which is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is someone who is very motivated, they are very wise, and they are a fire sign. So an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius, they're older than you, they are far more advanced in their business and in their life purpose because, yes, they have had 1 to 2 decades additional to what you have. And I want you to know here, this very wise person coming into your life, they're going to help you. They're going to help you to become more successful in every way. This doesn't have to mean that they're just a platonic work relationship. This can always turn romantic as well. But remember here within Lady Portia, it all happens in divine order. You might first meet them at a work event, or perhaps they are the boss somewhere, and then you connect so deeply that you understand, oh, there's more here. Perhaps we want to do more than just discuss business. And I want you to know here within the Tower that what that means is that how you first saw this person in the King of Wands is going to be completely destructed. That house is going to be burnt down. The way that you met them is not how you will view them after truly knowing them for a couple weeks and months. because who they are on the outside, who they are externally, is not who they actually are internally. They went through a lot more hardship and trauma than people know to get to where they are. So I'm talking losing parents, I'm talking a life-altering illness, I'm talking going through a divorce, I'm talking them really going through the gutter in a way that nobody would expect that they've gone through, because they seem to be sitting on this throne, they seem to be so successful, so wealthy, so all-knowing that people think it just came to them, when actually they worked themselves up from zero. And that's also why you're so inspired by them. That's what makes you connect so deeply to them. That's what makes you respect them. But you did not know their story, because nobody knows their story, until you had these sacred moments together where it was just you and them one-on-one. I see that going out to like a work function, a work gathering, a get-together, drinks, for example, you end up in basically a corner of the room and the space with them, and you're talking to them one-on-one. And what they're sharing with you then opens up your worldview to the fact that they really worked so hard to get there. And next up, we've received the moon here. And these tarot cards, by the way, are tarot cards in German, because for all of you who know me, you know that I live in Zurich, Switzerland. You know that I am Swiss, dass ich auch Deutsch spreche und Schweizerdeutsch natürlich auch. So I speak German and also Swiss German, is what I just said, for all of my English-speaking subscribers and followers. So I do have some German decks in here as well. This gorgeous moon tarot card is all about you understanding that everybody has a shadow side. Everybody who seems so successful, they have gone through things that have made them this person who is able to hold the success. If you do not go through things, you will not be successful. And that is actually completely changing your perspective of your own success and your understanding that, oh, hey, if I really want to be this successful, it's okay for me to struggle. It's okay for me to go through hardship. Actually, you're even welcoming some struggles and challenges in, because you know that if you get through them and you get out the other side, it has now formed you more into the person that you want to be. It's now created more of a version of you that, yes, is supposed to and able to hold all of the success that you desire. And it's actually transformed you into the type of person that you have always wanted to become. Because sometimes we forget that in order to become this person that we have always desired to be, we have to go through things we don't want to go through. Because who we desire to be, it looks nice on the outside, right? It looks shiny, it looks put together, it looks healthy, it looks glowy. But to get there, we often have to learn lessons that make us disciplined enough and love ourselves enough to be able to maintain and hold that sacred divine version of ourselves. Next up, improving health. My gorgeous soul, if you have been worried about your health, I just want you to know that this is a sign, a symbol, a message that is confirming to you that your health is improving. You worrying about your health is definitely not going to solve the health problem, nor is it going to make your health better. This is not to call you out. This is not to shame you. This is not to say it's your fault if your health isn't improving. That's not the case at all. That's not what we're doing here. But I want you to know here within improving health that what we are doing is that we're seeing that, okay, when we let go of relationships that cause emotions and feelings that are conflicting, that means that we are removing cortisol, which is the stress hormone, out of our bodies, which allows for your body to heal, which allows for your body to improve in its health. Because when you are not constantly stressed, then you can actually focus, then you can actually feel good, then you can actually put your energy into healing and the things that matter to you. So improving your health being the number one thing that Spirit wants you to focus on right now, while also only connecting with people that you know were put into your life for a reason to inspire, to transform, to teach you the fact that, yeah, you know what? In order to create a really awesome life, sometimes really challenging things need to happen to be someone who is so confident in themselves and in their abilities. Because blind confidence from people who have not yet accomplished things that really they should have perhaps focused on, to be honest with you, that is a type of confidence that is easily broken and shaken and taken away. Because the thing is, if you're truly confident from within, if you're truly confident from a place of knowing that you have earned this confidence, there is nobody that can walk into a room and tell you you don't look good enough, you're not intelligent enough, you haven't worked hard enough, that would actually bother you. There is nothing that can shake that type of confidence, because you worked hard for it and you've earned it and you deserve it. So people can say whatever they would like to say, but that's not going to change how you view yourself, which is as a winner, my gorgeous soul. And Spirit is confirming. Spirit just said yes. You saw me shuffle the deck. You can't make this up. Spirit is here talking to you directly. Your angels are saying yes to you. A wholehearted, resounding yes for your goals, your aspirations, and this version of yourself that is the best version of yourself to date, the most improved version when it comes to your health, and the version of you that invests in themselves. Now, improving health does not just mean physical health. I want you to also remember your mental health. Yes, this has been a bigger conversation within society, within humanity for the past couple years, but still, even though we know mental health is important, a lot of us, we still don't practice what we're preaching or what we're learning about the importance of mental health. So this is a reminder, because you don't always have to learn something new and groundbreaking and ground shaking and big and just something that you've never heard before. No, often the most important life-changing things that can happen to you is to be reminded of something you've already known so you can actually practice it, because taking action is where it's at. Like being reminded right now, if you're thirsty, if you are feeling like your last meal wasn't nourishing, drink water, make tea, have something nourishing, have something with fiber right now, have something with protein, have something that is clean. All right, do it while you're watching and receiving your reading. Have it right now. You don't have to have a groundbreaking new collagen electrolyte drink with cocoa and mushroom reishi extract and ashwagandha in it. You don't need all of that. But what you need is to be reminded that, hey, if you're thirsty, your body is already dehydrated. And sometimes you think you're hungry, but actually you're thirsty because your body can't really tell the difference between thirst and hunger. It feels very similar. So drink something first, hydrate yourself, take care of your body first, and then if you're still feeling hunger, then what you do is not learning this new extravagant quinoa, plant-based protein chunks and parsley dish with, spirulina, pesto, and I don't know what all is out here when it comes to these concoctions, but what I do know is the message that Spirit has for you, and that is to remind you, just have something clean and wholesome and unprocessed, and you will feel good, and your health will improve. It's very simple. We don't need to overcomplicate every single thing. Next up, we've got the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is the six of the element of water. The Six of Cups pertains to the six of everything that has to do with your emotions. So the Six of Cups is a very positive card when it comes to what's going on within your emotional relationships. So that means love, that means your friendships, and also your family. I see here that your spirit guides are trying to get you to say yes to them more often. Say yes to meeting up with them. Say yes to the get-togethers. Say yes to the barbecues. Say yes to also being the one who initiates. If you're more of an introvert and you don't really plan get-togethers and parties, maybe you even have a little bit of this fear that, oh my goodness, what if nobody shows up? Now's the time for you to face that fear. Now's the time for you to plan something regardless, because guess what? It's going to be epic, and it's going to be the best decision you've ever made, and it's going to build up your social confidence, which is something that introverts need and benefit from. Next up, the Nine of Cups is actually a manifestation card. It is basically like a genie in a bottle card. Congratulations, because the Nine of Cups means you get to push, and whatever you select comes out. Whatever it is that you wanted, you can attain, because nothing here is out of reach. Nothing within the vending machine is out of reach or too expensive for you to attain at this point. So that is why we have created this vending machine type of depiction for the Nine of Cups card, which is, by the way, this is my Pastel Journey Tarot deck. I will link it below because it is available on Amazon again, you guys, alongside my other decks as well. The Wild Muse Oracle deck is finally back in stock too. I'll leave that link below in case you're interested in adding any of my decks to your collection. They, of course, come with the guidebooks. They come in full color. They come with these, beautiful holographic sides and the collector's boxes, because you guys know the Unicorn Mom never half-asses anything. And if you want to create your very own deck, I'll leave that resource linked below in the description box as well. That would be you being part of my Psychic CEO community, because you are becoming the Psychic CEO of your very own life. And I've got over 500 lessons and modules in my app that teach you exactly how you can do what I am doing, from being a part-time dreamer to being a full-time tarot reader and entrepreneur in the spiritual world. Coming back to the Nine of Cups, this is a card of abundance. This is a card of understanding that what you wish for, what you dream for, what you desire, it is your desire for a reason. And of course it's possible. If other people have done it, why not you? If I, for example, have gone from loving tarot and reading tarot just for fun to it being a full-blown business, an online empire, all right, I have published to date 6 or 7 decks. Actually, I have a new deck that's just coming out around the time of me receiving and channeling these messages for you. You are going to see it if you follow me on social media. I'll probably also show it in the upcoming videos as well. I'll be using the deck in the upcoming readings. Because why wouldn't I use my own decks? Because energetically, they have been attuned with the type of intention that I have set on them. So if it is possible for me to go from just loving this space to actually creating a niche for myself in this space, actually creating a freedom-based business for myself, why would it not be possible for you exactly? Because the truth is, you are no different from me, and I'm no different from you in that sense, that we can both do this. And there's more abundance, opportunity, and ways for you to solidify your space in here than we even know possible. And that's why, for example, I have no problem showing you guys how I got here. I have no problem teaching every single one of you how you can create your own decks, coaching you to create your own online business, because I live in a realm that is abundant. When you win, I win. Because guess what? We get to work a career, a job, a field that helps others, that supports others, that heals others, that inspires others. And for that, there is an abundance of space within our planet and within our society. Next up, within Become Aware, the message you're receiving is to listen to the wisdom of your body. Your body right now is going to be sending you signals and signs, whether it's because of the gluten and the wheat, or it is, for example, you eating sugar and realizing, wait a minute, sugar is putting me on this emotional roller coaster, because every time I eat sugar, I have this high, and then I have this crash, this low. I can't work in the afternoon. I need a nap. I'm almost falling asleep at my desk. I then crave the next sugar hit, and then the same thing happens, and it's just affecting my mood. That is one thing that I want you to become aware of. How is your mood affected by the things that you put into your body? And do not forget the drinks. Do not forget drinks that have real and artificial sugars within them. Listen to the wisdom of your body, because often we see all of these diets and things on social media. We think we need them too. We think they're going to make us look the way the creator looks. But actually, you are unique. Your body composition is completely unique. Depending on where your ancestors were from on planet Earth means that they ate different foods than another person's ancestors, than that person's ancestors whom you're watching on social media, which means that your body is more accustomed to a different type of profile of foods, of diets, of ingredients, of resources, of minerals. So you need something completely different to a lot of the people that you're watching, a lot of the people that you see. So it's not just individual to your body, but it's also individual to your ancestry. And when you start to realize that, you also start to take more of an interest in your ancestors, more of an interest in those who came before you, the generations that came before you, how they fought to get you to where you are today. And then guess what happens? Magic happens. Because rather than seeing your body, your features, the things that make you not the standard of beauty, rather than seeing that as a flaw, you start to look at your nose, you start to look at your skin, you start to look at your lips, your eyes, your hair, everything about you, the stature of your body, your height, the way that your toes are, the way that your fingernails are, the way that your hands are shaped. You start to look at all of that in awe, and you start to think to yourself, I am so beautiful because in every single cell of my body is my grandmother, my great-grandmother, are my ancestors, who were such incredible, inspiring, strong, courageous souls to a degree that we couldn't even understand in this day and age. And there is no way that I'm going to want to alter or change myself to fit a standard of beauty that erases, eradicates where I actually come from. You start to become so proud of your origin, of your roots. And that is a type of pride and confidence and energy that is felt, that cannot be explained, and that can never be taken away from you. Next up, we have review your responsibilities. Not all responsibilities are yours to hold. If you right now are holding responsibilities that are not yours, loudspeaker emoji right here. I want you to let go of those responsibilities, because chances are, if you're an empath, if you're a giver, if you are a Cancerian, a Pisces, if you are also a Gemini, okay, because you guys take on a lot more than you should. Also, I want you to know, Capricorn, my God, the work that you put in. Virgo, my goodness, the things that you make your task that are not even your task. It's great that you're a hard worker. It's great you're empathetic and you want to help, but you also need time for you. Newsflash. You are also allowed to have days where you just do nothing. You are also allowed to review your possibilities and be like, wait a minute, Sarah, this task, I was happy to do it at that point, but it's actually not really my scope of work. So I will release this and, perhaps give it back to you. Or, hey, Mom, I'm so glad that you feel like you can come to me for everything and anything, but actually I have to focus on my work. I don't have time to talk to you right now about this TikTok that you sent me, or your phone settings, or what's going on with your friends. I can't right now. I don't have the capacity. And you thinking to yourself, actually, it's not your responsibility to be there every second, every moment, for everything, for everyone. It's okay for you to also review your responsibilities and say to yourself, you know what? If I could, for example, purchase a couple hours of a cleaning service or a meal prepping service, and in that time I can just relax, that might really be worth the money to you. Perhaps you can even just do more work. You can get one extra client, and your time is, when it comes to the numerical value, if you can make $100 per hour on your project and you pay someone $20 in that hour to prepare meals for you or to clean your home, you are basically saving $80, because if you would have spent your hour doing that task that you can pay someone to do for $20, and you can make $100 in that same hour, why would you do that? Especially if it's a task that you don't like doing. Sure, if you like cleaning, if you like cooking, if it's lethargic to you, do it. Do whatever you feel like doing. You guys know my channel is about manifesting the life of your desires, and it's not about putting logic before your emotions. It's about working with your emotions, your feelings, your wants, your needs, your desires, and everything that makes you human. But at the same time, be so real with yourself about the fact that you are not being over the top, you're not being snazzy, you are not being bougie, or whatever the words are that you may want to associate this type of person with. You're just being effective. You're just making it make sense. You are just making sure that you're maximizing your time. You do not have to go it alone. Reach out for support in this time. Yes, if you have been thinking of either getting help when it comes to your business, okay? It could be something as simple as logo designing. It could be something as simple as saying to your spouse or the person that you're dating, hey, you know what? I need a little bit more help around the house. I really need you to not have to be asked 10 times to take the trash out, to the point where I'm just going to do it myself. I really need you to stop promising that you're going to cut the lawn and for you to just do it. Otherwise, I will outsource it. I will put it on your credit card and you will just have to pay someone else to do it. It is time for you, in whatever shape, way, or form that this looks like for you at this stage in your life, to not do everything alone, to not hold all of the weight of the world on your shoulder. Because all of that is not necessary. You are meant to enjoy your life to the max. There's a reason why you're here. And honestly, just the other day, I read that you even being born, the chances of you even being conceived, being born, being alive right now, is actually a smaller possibility than winning the lottery for, I don't know, something like 40 years every single day in a row. The chances of being born are smaller than that. And I just want you to know that this insane fact in itself should allow you to just enjoy life a little more, to just do what you need to do. That's the next message we're receiving here with angel number 11, master number 11. It may be difficult, but now is the time. Sometimes the hardest thing is to take a step back and prioritize yourself. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't putting in more work, but it's actually putting in less work. Sometimes the hardest thing is realizing, actually, I don't need to do all of this. I can do less and be happier and have more time to myself and more time to spend with my family and be more balanced. And that's something that I've also realized and learned and matured into in the past couple months and years. I don't need to have 50 businesses that do absolutely everything. I can literally do what I love and just focus on that and actually have an even bigger impact in that way, and actually be even more successful than I've ever been. And you would think that it is so much more difficult to have a warehouse, a lot of physical products, jewelry, everything like that, to keep building that, growing that. But actually what was harder for me was saying, you know what? I actually do not want to run a warehouse. I actually do not want to run those logistics. I would rather outsource certain things to wholesalers, other companies that specialize in that specialize in making sure my decks arrive at people's doorsteps, and focus on creating more videos, because that's what I love. That's what I do best, connecting with you guys. These readings that are healing, that allow you to feel supported. This content that is free, but gives you a type of value that you can't even put into words, that you can't even measure and quantify in numbers, because that's where my heart is at. So sometimes doing what you know innately, intuitively is the right thing for you to do can feel like the hardest, because it feels as though, oh, you're not doing the most. And for whatever reason, we have been programmed to feel as though we have to unalive ourselves in the process of being successful, when it's not true. You can actually have a business that's easy, that's relaxed, where you're only doing what you love doing. You don't do anything that you don't love doing, and that can be 10 times more successful than a business where you are literally unaliving yourself every single day to keep up, and you're working 24/7. Connect to eternity within. Let yourself be held by love. So the message that your spirit guides and your angels really have for you right here is to be held by love, is to love yourself so deeply and so fully, to not push yourself to that extent anymore, any longer. That is the main message for you here, to focus on wholeness, to focus on enjoyment, to focus on doing what you want to do, what you love doing with your life, rather than focusing on just doing as much as possible, everything being as big as possible. Trust me, when you're doing what you're meant to do, when you're in your purpose, things will be big, things will blow up, things will go well. And that is how you want things to go. That is how you want things to blow up. Because life is also here for you to live and experience, and for you to feel as though you are able to enjoy it. Step out of the hamster wheel and have the things that you desire with ease. My gorgeous soul, this is the reading that you are meant to receive, and I hope that you found it insightful. If you did, make sure that you leave an angel wing emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you received this letter, this reading, all the way to the end. And I want you to also remember all of my resources, from my decks to my free downloadables to my deck creation program, my online business building program where we create our businesses together. It's all linked below in the description box if you're curious, if you want more. And of course, check out my channel for over 800 pick a card tarot readings that you can delve into and you can enjoy and heal with and allow yourself to grow through. So my gorgeous soul, wherever you are on our beautiful planet, know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings.